every Friday from 8:40 to 10, brought to you by these great sponsors.
Family Drug, the Villas of Hollybrook, Shelbyville Manor, and CCSI Case Management Services sponsor the WTIM Shelbyville Morning Show.
WTIM.
You're listening to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station, and the show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and our next guest here on the morning show this morning is Bruce Berry, the mayor of the city of Taylorville, who has hopefully recovered from the 4th of July parade that I know was certainly out there in hot conditions. Mayor Berry, thanks for coming in this morning.
It was very hot, but it was a nice parade, and thanks to everyone that attended it, and it was the spectators, and I think we had a nice parade.
Yeah, no, it was a great parade, and I was there, and the parade was great. Hot dogs were great as well. Thank you for that. And by the way, I did get seconds later on your insistence,
okay.
And I just needed to walk around a little bit, get myself set for that. So. No, it was a fun time, and we were talking a little bit. I know we had discussed beforehand there was going to be a different parade route because of the construction. How did that work out in the end, as far as you could tell?
I think it went real well. You know, we started down Main Cross. There was quite a crowd there until Houston Street, and then the Franklin Street neighbors sort of really came out and drove, so it was great to see Franklin Street. And then once we got up the square, it was very packed up there. And I thought the route was good. I just want to congratulate Dr. Ron Miser on being the Grand Marshal of the parade. Well-deserved honor. And I think he had a good time. And we had a lot of veterans organizations. I know the United Methodist Church had a pontoon boat with a lot of veterans on there, and they were at the beginning, and so it was great to see all the veterans that show up for the parade.
Yeah, and a lot of them indeed, and you and I were talking earlier. It sounds like they were sort of deliberately front loaded into the parade just to kind of get them out of the heat.
Get them out of the heat.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a few people mid 90s to upper 90s years old, and in the parade, and then what a great turnout by the Shriners, and they had the antique cars, they had the tractors, they had the little motor scooters, things like that, and what a great turnout. We were one of their special parades, so that's why we had so many Shriners, and my hat's off to Jay German for organizing that. We had, I don't know, over 100 Shriners participate in the parade.
Okay, yeah, that was great to see as well, because when it comes to veterans, obviously they're a big reason why we have 250 years. So,
exactly. So we try to honor the veterans, especially.
Yeah, no. So I really like that about the parade. You mentioned going down like the part of the parade route right before you get to the square, and of course you were in it. So are there a lot of people who lined those streets before the square?
Yes. Okay. A lot of people there lined Franklin Street, especially in front of the home there on Franklin. I can't think of the name there, and at the Taylorville Food Center, that people. And then once we turned back on Webster, the streets were packed 7-8 deep there on Webster and Market, and then as we got to West Main Cross again, it was packed again. So it's good to see all the people out there, and if you didn't get any candy, it's probably your own fault, because I know most of the people I talked to ran out of candy and things, and then we had like I said, I had my hot dog lunch in there on the square, and had music by our fire chief Matt Aderman. What a great job he does, and like I said, it's just a nice parade, and everyone goes around smiling.
Yes. Yeah, indeed. Just like I am right now, talking about the parade in retrospect. So happy for you folks, and really for the city about that. Now, of course, later that day you had the fireworks show,
right?
I was not there for that.
Another event I was at was we had an organization there out at Donner Cemetery, which is on the Awanico Road, and we honored a Revolutionary War veteran who's buried there. Supposedly he's the only one from Christian County that's buried out there. His name's Jonathan Hicklin.
Yep.
And he lived from 1756 to 1858. He lived to be 102 years old. And we honored him, and we had a 7-year-old girl that afternoon sing the national anthem, and it was great. Her name was Brexley Edwards. She did a phenomenal job. We had Troop 132 out there with the Pledge of Allegiance and the American flag, and we had a couple of Revolutionary War actors out there shooting off the guns and stuff, and it was a nice thing. And then that led us into the municipal band played at the marina. I don't think you made it out there for that. Nope. But it was a great performance there. And then like I said, the fireworks, I thought it was excellent. I've heard other people say it was the best one we've ever had, so my hat's off to Alderman Amy Hagan. She was sort of the organizer of that. We collected money, and Ed and Becky Clayton stepped up and paid for about 3/4 to 4/5 of the show. So like I said, Clayton Sanitation really stepped up and provided the fireworks for us. And
I know you folks and Amy Hagan and a lot of other people involved in the organizing of it, we're really hoping for like a larger than normal show, with it being 250 years.
Right.
And, you got the big donations, and, does it feel like you got what you were hoping for?
I believe so. And I think everybody was happy with that. And then, I went home after that, but I heard then the lake people really had like a second performance up 11 o'clock, 11:30. So hats off to them also. But I was home in bed by the time the 11 o'clock performance went off.
That's right. So happy about that. And I also had meant to ask you about the ceremony that happened at Donner Cemetery. We had Ted Chapman on last week, and he talked a little bit about that too. He mentioned you folks were going to be there, and so I know you were involved in that. Of course, you're going to be involved as well in the 9/11 remembrance event that Ted Chapman is also organizing.
Yeah,
Talk about kind of the what you were going to say.
Ted does an awful great job of organizing things, and he's organizing the 9/11 commemoration. That'll be in September. It's the 25th year of 9/11, and we're going to have a speaker, I believe, that was a on-duty New York policeman at the time, and so I'm really looking forward to that, and the city will be involved with that a little bit. And then I'm going to sponsor a luncheon out to VFW that day after the ceremony. I believe the ceremony starts at 10 o'clock, so it's up on the square on Friday, September 11th, so invite everyone up there for that.
Yeah, and so, and I remember Ted talking a lot about that too in his various appearances. So, in terms of kind of the city getting involved in the 9/11 event, and also, and then also the ceremony just a couple days ago, was that like did Ted reach out to you folks, or
well, we've always been involved in the 4th of July parade. We've taken over a bigger role now. I guess I'm the so-called organizer of it now, and I hope everyone goes away from it happy. Everybody can't be first, and everybody can't be third. So we sort of get the fire trucks and the veterans and go from there, get the cheerleaders, get the band, get them first there so they can get out of the heat, and everyone else. I mean, we had a good portion of the parade went to the political parties and the different people like that. So that was good to get them. And most of the aldermen participated in the parade. And like I said, it was just a great parade.
Yeah, it sounds like it, and I'm happy for you folks that it worked out so well, and I enjoyed it being out there as well. And I will say I certainly needed to be in the shade for that to kind of work out for me. But just great all around. I've been talking with Taylorville Mayor Bruce Berry here on the WTIM Morning Show. Let's take a break, and then we'll talk about construction and other future such efforts and more right here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Summer baseball is alive in the capital city with the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes. Bring the family out for exciting collegiate baseball and great promotions. Enjoy ballpark favorites and affordable fun all season long. Cheer on tomorrow's stars today. Get your tickets, game schedule, and more at shoesbaseball.com. And catch Springfield Lucky Horseshoes highlights all summer long on IL Sports Wire.
Your locally owned Scooters Coffee at routes 29 and 104 in Taylorville are proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the WTIM Tornado Give Back promotion. Scooters Coffee will donate the following to the Taylorville Sports Boosters. For each Tornado varsity football touchdown, they're donating $10. For each 3-point shot in varsity Tornado boys and girls basketball games, they're donating $3. And $5 for each home run scored by varsity baseball and softball team. The 22 local Scooters Coffee Taylorville, thank you for your business. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast.
There's only one Central Illinois radio station that brings you the memories of the 60s and early 70s as you are cruising down the streets of your hometown. The dial position is 98.3 FM. The station is 98.3 WSVZ. From Macon to Vandalia and I-55 to I-57, cruising 98.3 plays the hits from early Elvis in the 60s to the British invasion of the Beatles, Herman's Hermits, and many more from the 1960s. Then we swing into the early half of the 1970s with artists like the Guess Who, the Doobie Brothers, and Elton John. Every song brings back something you remember about growing up. Set a button and crank up the station, playing good time rock and roll from the Tower of Power, cruising 98.3 WSVZ.
Looking for your next ride? Now's the time to come to Trinity Automotive. Right off Route 29 in Taylorville, we're bringing deals with limited time savings. Drive home a Chrysler Pacifica and save up to $6,400 off, or hit the road in a Jeep Wrangler with savings of up to $4,900 off. Plus, you'll get the Trinity difference. Great selection, expert service, and a team ready to help every step of the way. These deals won't last, so don't wait. Come see us right off Route 29 in Taylorville or shop anytime at trinitydodge.net.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. Find out about all the products and services we provide by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
At Taylorville Estates Assisted Living, life feels lighter. With helping hands always nearby and activities that bring people together, every day offers comfort and connection. From shared meals to shared moments, it's a place that feels like family. Discover the joy waiting at Taylorville Estates Assisted Living. Click their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
And we're back on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and I continue my conversation with Taylorville Mayor Bruce Berry. Now, typically, I start our conversations by talking a little bit about the construction work and kind of where we're at with that. Of course, we were able to spend the entire first segment talking about the events of the weekend. So in terms of construction, I know that affected the parade route. Where are we at with that now?
Right. Well, they're doing well on West Main Cross. I know they're finishing up the water lines and the sewer lines. I think they've got them finished. They'll be doing some curb work and also sidewalk repair, and then we'll repave it and probably done in a couple months. Probably the end of September is what they tell me. They'll have most of that done. We are starting back on the West Adams South Main project with the Safe Route to Sidewalk grant that we received. And so I know the people at St. Mary Church will be very happy with that. They should be there today. They weren't there this morning when I went there, but work should start on that this week. Hopefully today or tomorrow they'll be get down and get that done. And then we've applied for another grant to do the blocks off the square. So that will tie in with phase one, which is the downtown square project. So we hope we're a recipient of this new grant, a $3 million grant we applied for, and our hopes are up for that. And we're doing a lot of construction work for the area.
Yeah, that's right. So you folks have certainly been busy with that, which is part of why I ask about it every time you are on. And in terms of what you talked about there at first with the with the construction, you mentioned the safe routes to school. So that's around St. Mary's. You're going to start that this week, it sounds like, or get a little more
Right.
into it this week. Do you expect that'll be done by the time school starts?
We hope it is. Yeah,
Okay.
that will, because it really complicates the memorial school and the kids there. But they did well this whole year where we had to stop. We had to put a stop on that because of the State Historical Preservation Society had a little bit. But we've worked through that and got the memorandum of understanding signed, and we're ready to go to work.
Okay, so you'll be able to do that, and yeah, I mean, I could see how if you're doing construction, during the school year, that probably would actually complicate things more than of what you had before then.
Yes.
So it sounds like you've got that, and then you also mentioned grants for work that you're going to do around the square,
Right.
kind of in those streets around there, and do we know how long that work is going to last?
Well,
once you
the
get
first
funds?
grant that we're going to start in January. We've already received that money, and that's supposed to take between 12 to 18 months to do, but we'll do it, one side at a time, inside one time, then outside of it. And we're hope there's not much disruption. We'll have walkways to all the businesses and things, and it's just going to be a little bit inconvenient for people, but we'll work through that with the business owners and things. We've met with a few of the business owners over what we're going to try to do and things like that. And I think we've come to some type of a compromise. And our main thing is not to have a negative impact on the businesses that are up there. So hopefully we can accomplish that.
All right. So you've got that work coming up around the square and near it as well. Something else I want to ask about related to construction is something that you folks had talked about in, I think this was a special meeting that took place last month, Deco construction project. So I think there had been some discussions on that, and it was so long ago that I feel like I don't even remember the story. And I guess it would help if you could fill our listeners in about what
that's the downtown project. We received a grant through the Department of Economic Opportunity from the state. And so that's the grant we're working through now, that part of the grant money will pay for part of the project. And then the business development district tax that we've imposed since 2018 will pay for a great majority of it also. And we're going to do all new lighting, all new electrical boxes, all new water lines, all new storm sewers, all new pavement downtown, all new sidewalks. And it's going to be fabulous once it's done. And so we're hoping we can negate some of the negative impact that some of the business owners thinks we'll have in the year that we're doing the project. So we'll hope we'll work through that well, and our downtown will look better than ever.
Okay. And then now I know you had the meeting about this, and how much public comment did you get on it?
Well, we had plenty of comment at the meeting and stuff. And then since in time, we've met with some of the other business owners on a one-to-one basis. And I've always invited everyone to call my office with their concerns, or call my office, or call their alderman. And the aldermen are going to vote on whether we're going to keep going forward on, which I believe the vote might be tonight. I'm not sure of that, and we'll see what happens, and we'll go forward.
All right. So we'll see about that. It looks like public restrooms as well are part of this proposal.
That was part of the issue that was brought up that night. I don't believe that's moving forward. We were under the misunderstanding of when it was going to be open and things, because the courthouse offers public restrooms from 8 to 4 during the day up there. And in our library, which is just a block off the square, public restroom there also. So I don't think that's an expense that we're going to need or want. And then just special occasions like on the Chili Fest that weekend and stuff, they have the normal porta potties up there, and so it'll work through that.
All right. So I'll be interested to see how that plays out as well. But yeah, no, it seems like a lot going on, and again, just as far as I could tell, really well done with the 4th of July parade. Again, I had a lot of fun there, and seems like you did too.
I just want to wish everyone a happy 4th of July. We got the FFA pork chop dinner coming up Thursday night, and then the county fair starts in 2 weeks from tomorrow, I believe, the 21st.
Yep, 21st.
So that'll be a great event for not only the city of Taylorville, for the county, and it'll go from there.
All right. Yeah, looking forward to that. Taylorville Mayor Bruce Berry has been joining us here on the WTIM Morning Show. Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you very much, Reed.
Yes, and thank you for listening here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. Another conversation coming up in about 10 minutes' time, so please stay tuned. You are listening to WTIM.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington.